Well, hello everyone. Happy sunny Tuesday out here in California after a big rainstorm. Excited to run through a rather specific topic today. As always, hopefully your audio is enabled or you're not hearing this, but if you have any questions, go ahead and add those in the comments, and please do say hello to our other participants. Today we're going to run through Reader's Choice contests, also known as Best Ofs. There's a lot of fun things you can do on promotions. We obviously love social promotions, which we talk about probably too much, but we love engaging the community around fun, exciting, viral inducing activities. And social promotions like the Reader's Choice contest is something that you can tap into. Now we're going to go through the three phases of the contest. If you have a print product, how to combine print and digital, and if you're web only, that's cool. It's sort of same basic approach, and how to make it profitable. So you'll see some revenue conversation peppered in, and then we'll bring it about at the end. So why do you want to run a Reader's Choice contest? People love it. Businesses love it. It gives people a reason to interact with you that's positive in the community. So what's cool is it allows you to celebrate what's going on. New business in town, great. Great long-term performer, awesome. It's really something that can be tapped into. It's also a great opportunity because now businesses in town promote you. And as you'll see, they may even pay to promote you. But they're promoting themselves, and it's about that alignment. If you've gone through a program overview with us, you know we love alignment. If it's in everyone's best interest, it's going to work well. It's also fantastic because if you do it the way we're going to talk about, it drives adoption of your business directory. This is true within the Locable platform. If you're not on a Locable platform, more than this one to count. And it's obviously an opportunity for sponsorships, both advertising and standalone sponsorships for the giveaway itself. So there's some really great things about this. And of course, as you know, we love the fact that there's revenue activities that combine and connect with content activities. So you've got a lot of opportunity to spin out secondary content out of this experience. Now, it's important to note, why will a business participate? Because if they win, they get recognition and they get promoted. Who doesn't want more recognition for the things that you are good at? Readers get a chance to build their community, and if you do it the way we suggest, you know, you throw a little incentive their way and randomly draw winners to receive certain prizes. Important to note that these prizes can also be sponsored, right? So they've got a chance to win something in addition to just supporting their favorite places and building community in the process. So it really is a great way to tap into all your local constituents. Now, the first phase of this is the preview period. And you want to be really specific in how you do this. We see publishers in all facets take this approach. If you build it, they will come. And then they're surprised when they don't. If you're not growing your calendar and using events effectively within your content and through your promotional activity, don't be surprised that people don't use your calendar. Same is true of the directory. Same is true of a Reader's Choice contest. So before the contest starts, ideally months before, you start engaging with advertisers. Everything from email newsletters to personal emails, and when your sales team's out there, they should start talking it up, ideally having some collateral with them. Add it to the signature line. So if your editorial and your sales teams, coming soon, you know, Reader's Choice Awards, prepare to vote, prepare to promote your business, etc. So pepper it into everything you do. And, you know, we talked recently in an office hours about the importance of creating marketing pages. Well, this is another opportunity, and having a coming soon page that outlines why a business wants to be involved, why they want to invest some time in this, and what's in their best interest is important. Now, it's important to have advertisers involved because obviously they need to be aware of the contest and be aware of their benefits. Like, hey, you know, if it's tied to the directory and people vote for me and then leave me a review, that makes me look better. It actually has positive implications even for Google. And oh, by the way, there's this thing called the customer reviews widget. And if I collect reviews, even if I don't win, I can show off those reviews on my own website. Those are real benefits. And then, of course, if I win, there's some clear benefits as well. They need to be able to promote themselves. little typo, it shouldn't be past tense, but they need to be able to promote themselves to their customers. And we'll talk in a minute about how you can equip them to do that, but they need to be ready to do that. And in the case of our approach, the contest is tied to the directory, so they need to create or claim their listing so they don't have to be a write-in, which is pretty important. Now, readers need to be prepared because, frankly, they have to do the voting, but you can do this through editorial references. Now, we've seen some publishers in other areas preview upcoming, I'll call them contests, but they could cover any number of issues, and they pre-sell it too much. Hey, we're so excited about this year's Reader's Choice, and then it's fine print, it's coming in 2 months. And people are like, where do I go? You miss the Reader's Choice reference. So you want to foreshadow it, but not oversell it. It can be done through advertising, of course, in your publication or website, and also some special sections. This is a revenue opportunity, but businesses can pay to be in the section. Say, hey, vote for me. We're really proud of this year's, pumpkin pie or whatever. So vote for us for best pumpkin pie. And again, there can be a coming soon page. It can be the same page as the advertisers or separate. You talk about how readers can play their part and how they can support the community and so forth. Because, of course, they need to be aware. In their case, the benefits are social and voting and, of course, potentially to win. And they need to actually vote. Ideally, they go further than voting, and they also promote it through social media. And hey, I just voted for, Jack's Burger Stand. Anyone who loves it, go do it too. You want to turn them into advocates for you and for the businesses that they want to endorse. So really important to preview this, and then you need to do a few things. If you can equip business owners, you're going to get a lot more traction. Now, by equip, what I mean is don't force them to be creative or take action beyond the bare minimum. So if you're able to create Vote for Me posters where they can simply, write in their name or their ad URL for their directory listing, if you can give them business cards to hand out, like digital Post-its, right, the equivalent of these business cards on their website, they're going to promote you. They're going to use it, especially the web stuff, because they can add it to their site and then just forget about it for a while, and it'll still be working. We've even heard of some people create buttons for staff, like in restaurants, to wear. Vote for us at the such and such Reader's Choice. And so you're prepping all this stuff. And obviously there's some cost to this, but if you do it right, it's fully subsidized. I'd also go so far as to write suggested email and social media posts. It can be really basic, but just, here's 5 things you might want to send over the next 2 weeks to promote yourself to win. And, of course, sell sponsorships and ads. There's some variability in what you can do in the advertising sections and so forth, so I'm not going to get into the deep weeds of what does a special advertising section look like. But if you want to have one, obviously you need to prep it, you need to sell it, and you need to do it in advance of the contest. Now, during the contest, you obviously need to turn it on and run it, and we'll talk about this particular piece a little bit later. But take all the things you were doing to promote it and increase the intensity, right? You were foreshadowing, and now it's live, and so you're going to make a more concerted effort to drive, okay, now's the time, do it. Real call to actions through all of your materials. You want to have a sense of urgency, vote now, vote every day. There's obviously some rules you can set. Push people to not wait and then, of course, miss the opportunity. You're going to mix in social media shares on your profiles. And I'd even say go so far as to do some paid promotions. And this is run in many ways similar to a social promotion. And then highlight sponsors and certain businesses. This was an ad that Style did on their own website. You can see the nod to the sponsors. In this case, there were 2. But, as you're going through, write an article about, hey, Spare Time Club sponsored this. And they were excited because, get some quotes from their VP or whatever, and link back to the contest. So now you're throwing them a bone, you're getting more content, and, of course, you're promoting the contest. If you can, along the way, create some leaderboards, that would be very useful. And these could be articles, or they could just be social media posts. And you want to be careful not to show the one company that's got 5 million votes because it might undermine other people competing. But nevertheless, pick and choose certain businesses to highlight, whether they're advertisers or new businesses or, whatever you want to pick out of the. There's just fun ways you can highlight, hey, so-and-so just got 10 posts today, 10 votes today. Vote for your favorite business. And you can use these name drops. And then, of course, they're going to promote themselves, which further exposes your contest to their followers. If you haven't seen some of the videos that we've done about Facebook and the importance of getting other people to share your stuff. We're sort of tapping into that along with more content. Now, I will say that some publishers have chosen to take a slightly different approach where they break it into two phases, sort of a nomination phase and then a finalist phase. We generally haven't pushed for this because of the way we tie it into the directory. However, you can frankly choose to do this as a separate optional. But just the point is have a plan of why you want to do it one way or the other, or specifically why you want to break it into two steps instead of just do it as one continuous contest. Now, after the contest, you want to celebrate it, and what you see here from style to the graphic. So you want to recognize the winners. And obviously, this is editorial. If you're printing, it's print. If you're web only, it's web only. But create articles and recognize them, and do profiles on businesses. Of course, these become great email and social media shares. Thank the sponsors in the process. They should be involved with everything and appreciated all along the way, so they get a lot of exposure. And give people, things like plaques and window clings and logos that they can use on their site. Let them recognize themselves and obviously promote you in the process. Your brand should be prominent. If it's a logo, give them something to link it to and so forth. So really a great opportunity to build your brand in the process. And these profile articles, you can write them about the winners, of course, favorites, oddballs that maybe you didn't know about in the community but you really liked when you heard about them. Or even interesting reviews. If you do this the right way, not only will you be collecting votes, but the businesses will be collecting reviews, and you might get some interesting tidbits that you can use to spin into content. Again, user-generated and user-inspired content. So a quick note on running the contest. Historically, publishers have run it with just a ballot. It's write-in, and the problem is if you talk about Brian's coffee shop, is it the same with and without an apostrophe, and then you've got people gaming the system. And it's a pain. It's why a lot of publishers haven't done it in the past. Well, ours is tied in to our directory. And we think this is the best for many of the reasons that I mentioned, as well as the fact that to vote, you do need to be signed in and authenticated, and it simplifies things to a great extent. And so here you can see the main directory page of our demo site, and basically you can see a big call out. Anyone who hits the directory sees this logo and a little description and links. So this is very easy to turn on. As you go to an individual listing, you'll see a vote button at the top. What's really cool about this is, historically, if it's pure ballot-based, not only is it cumbersome for the readers and cumbersome for you to tally, but if I promote it, I'm sort of promoting people to potentially go and vote for other people. I don't want to push them towards my competitors if they realize, hey, I really like them too. But if I'm promoting my own listing for Heyday Cafe, then I'm driving people just to my page, and people can vote for me without even being exposed to anyone else. And this is pretty powerful. I'm also here, so I can leave a review. I can see any events or related articles or whatever else. So it's really a great branding exercise for the business to tie it in to their directory listings. And of course, what this does is it builds a lot of deep links for SEO and cross links for you. So if you're not familiar with SEO, forget the sort of black magic stuff. The reality is more links to your site, especially not your home page, is really good for you and for various things. I mean, you'd love it if when someone searches for Heyday Cafe, they hit your directory. And finally, we're actually preparing to do an upgrade to our contest engine that will add a ballot, which will, of course, give people the ability to go to one place and vote for all of their favorites, and it will add the write-in capability, albeit that's more for publishers to promote, whereas the straight to the listing piece is more for the individual businesses to promote. And, of course, they link back and forth nicely. So it's very integrated. Like everything we want to do, it's not just single point. It's tied into other things that are going on the system. And, again, it sets your directory apart. If businesses know that in order to be in the lookup list here, they have to have a directory listing, that's an incentive to have a directory listing. And there's some things you can do to even tie into paid placement, which I'm not going to talk a lot about, but that help people show up at the top of the drop-downs or be the pre-select or whatever to take things even further. Now, circle back. I've been peppering in revenue considerations along the way, but obviously you can sell sponsorships. You can have an overall sponsors or sponsors, plural, and prize sponsors, right? If I 5 people are going to win a $50 gift card or $100 gift card or dinner for 2 out at whatever. And so you can tie this in just like a normal social promotion. And in fact, some of the sponsors can have their own social media shares and ads and so forth, being the proud sponsor of this Reader's Choice. The special advertising sections can be great. You can do this as pure, vote for me, or, give us 2 or 3 lines as to why people should vote for you, to maybe there's a deal or a coupon or an offer or something else. So again, what I want you to do here is not view this as the only way to run it, but that you've got some flexibility within your own style while still following sort of the ground rules that will be most effective. It can definitely drive directory upgrades. The more people who go to your directory, the higher the odds are that someone's going to sign up and sign up for a paid listing. Once they're in the listings, we, through our system, are able to sort of market to them on your behalf and encourage them to upgrade. And of course, it takes advantage of the listings to lead. So everyone who creates a directory listing, you get notified and can engage, which leads to the next item, which is it's a great way to prospect for customers. If you're out there and you're walking down Main Street, or you're walking through a shopping center and you're walking into stores, instead of walking and saying, hey, I want to sell you an ad, you walk in with a little window cling or something that they can put up to promote themselves. Now all of a sudden you've developed a relationship. You're prospecting by giving them something that is in their best interest. And then after the fact or later, when it's appropriate, you can follow up and talk about their advertising objectives. But it's very different. You don't sort of get them on their heels right away. You really are able to say, hey, we've got this coming up. Here's your chance to win. Here's some great things you can do. And you sort of prep them for the contest. Now, aside from revenue, or at least not directly tied to revenue, clearly as you do this, you get a lot of branding throughout the year. People are proud to have won. And so that goes up in dozens or potentially hundreds of businesses around town on their websites and their own marketing materials. 2015 winner of the Best of contest for best burger in town. That's going to be in their ads. So these things really elevate your brand as well as the winner's brands. And frankly, it just drives a lot of traffic. When it's running, you've obviously got dozens or hundreds or maybe even thousands of businesses pushing people to your website. You get a lot more email opt-ins because obviously we can say, hey, would you like to receive emails in the future? You get a lot more people signing up for your website because it's a way for them to validate who they are as a real person. And you get more follows on social media, all of which, of course, have revenue considerations on an ongoing basis. So it's part of the content strategy. It's part of the audience development strategy. And it's part of the, we're an anchor tenant in the community strategy. So we went rapid fire through this. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments. We're going to disable the video here in just a moment, but let us know how we can help you run your favorite Reader's Choice contest.